Hey there. I'm sorry I look kind of like crap, but oh well. I just want to make a quick video about pretty much my experience as a truck driver for the last 2 months. I know I'm not quite there yet, and I know I don't know it all, and there's a lot I still got to learn. But pretty much, I think I'm a pretty good driver. Still got to work on some my backing and that type of thing. For the most part, I think I got it. I'm not going to be on here basically trying to say that I know it all, because I don't. But um, I'm with the company. I'm not going to give out the name. The only people who are going to know about the name of the company is the people that I have on Facebook. So other than that, I could say that I'm not too happy with the way I get paid. A lot of truckers say that don't come into trucking thinking that you're going to make all the big bucks in the beginning, because you're not, which I think is a bit bogus, because I know people that are making good money doing it and they barely started. So that's just a plain stupid excuse. Another thing I dealt with when I worked for another company, which they let me go because they said I was an unsafe driver, is because I had a trainer who in the very beginning thought I was supposed to know everything, and he acted like a smart ass, excuse my language, and basically made me very uncomfortable. And so I requested a new trainer, and come to find out that this guy that I was training with in the beginning had issues with another trainee that he made uncomfortable as well, and yet they put me with this guy. And so then they put me with a guy that had 1 year experience, and he was just as bad. He yelled at me, he cussed a lot. Now, I get that some of us have problems with our mouths, but he says get used to it because truckers cuss a lot. You guys are so full of crap if you think that way. You could have a way of controlling your mouth. So anywho, not only that, he's cussing a lot, he's yelling at me, acting rude, he's criticizing every move I make. He expects me to stay right in the middle of both the lines in my lane. How the hell do you do that? Seriously? That's so stupid. And yet the moron himself was making stupid moves. Then I've had, with my trainer right now, he's all actually pretty cool. Now, there's certain things I don't like about him, but for the most part, he's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty laid back. He sleeps while I drive on my hours and whatnot, and he's very helpful. He's made some points to me that I need to work on and that type of thing. Sometimes he can be a little edgy for stupid things. For example, we were going through California and he was going over the speed limit. Well, if you know California speed limits for truckers, it's 55. He was going about 60, 65 at times. The truck is governed at 65 miles per hour, which I think is pretty good. California needs to fix your speed limits. So, getting back to my point, I said, dude, why are you going over the speed limit? Aren't you afraid of getting a ticket, getting points, and losing out on opportunity? And he says, no, I'm not. And then I see him pass a way station, and I kind of question it. And he says, well, that one, it's always, they take their sweet time. He says, I'm not recommending you to pass way stations. It's a bad thing to do. You could get fined. Next thing I knew, the next day I was driving in the middle of the night, and we get a message about people that pass the way stations in California and going over the speed limit and this and that, and I bring it up to him, and he gets a little upset about it, which is kind of stupid, because he says, well, I know people in my family that work for DOT, and they specifically, if they don't go into trucking, because most of my family's into trucking, they go into to work for state troopers, highway patrolmen, and they specifically go to DOT. So basically, if you could get away with it, the more power to you. But it's kind of stupid. Why the hell am I going to risk it? So it was just a stupid argument, or not really argument, but him just getting on my case about it. Now, of course, he apologized later, but point is, why the hell? Seriously, if I go over the speed limit, it's probably 1-2 miles over the speed limit. Try to do my best not to go over 2 or 3 miles per hour, because I think you're just pushing it there. Now, like I said, I'm just a beginner. My dad's into trucking. I got a restriction. My dad wants me to get the restriction off. I'm just not comfortable driving with the stick shift. Now, for those that say you're not really a truck driver, then you guys are so full of crap. It's just, I think it's a childish mindset for you guys to say that. So my dad makes very good money doing local. He never went over the road. And most people want people that have at least a year or two experience over the road. So I'm going to try to push myself to get that year or two. The last company pushed me a lot, especially when I'm trying to drive at my comfort zone. Not too slow, but at my comfort zone to get through the mountains, because during the time that I was training with these morons, I was driving through snow and weird weather and whatnot, and it's okay for me to drive in the rain and that type of thing, but snow, hey, I've never driven through snow before, especially in the mountains. They say if you respect the mountains will respect you. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's not only that you have to worry about, it's other people on the road that you have to worry about how stupid they drive. And people talk about truckers being a necessity. I can't think of the other word I want to say. During this pandemic, bullcrap. Respect is out in the street. It's just like, you can't help it when you have a truck that's governed at 65 and the speed limit could be 70, 75, whatever the case is. If I'm using cruise control, this truck has a bunch of sensors all over it. And once I get too close to a truck and I have cruise control, it's going to slow me down. So I'm going to move over. If I see a lot of cars to the left-hand side of me, I'm not going to bother moving over just quite yet. I'm going to let them pass. Now, as I'm trying to, once I move over and I see cars piling up behind me, but yet I'm still trying to get past that other truck that could possibly be governed at 65 or whatever it may be, or they're just wanting to slow down and whatnot because they're eating the cheeseburger. I'm going to do my best to continue to get past that truck. But just because you guys flash for me to hurry the hell up, or a trucker like I experienced the other day, just because I was in the passing lane honking at me, I honked right back at him. Like, the hell with you. I think people need to have more respect, and some of these truckers need to stop acting like jackasses. Seriously. Just because you have all that experience doesn't mean squat to me. I want to be able to learn from you guys, but I don't need to deal with a smart ass. Seriously. I can't believe those guys that I was having trained treated me the way they did. Like, how the hell do you learn with a douchebag like that? Like, seriously. I never cussed these guys out. I never talked back to them. I never yelled at them. And I got fired. Man. I definitely got pray that I forgive them. I believe it's necessary to forgive. But one of these days they're gonna talk to another person the wrong way and they're gonna get punched in the face. But as a new truck driver, like, seriously, I believe there's companies out there that that care about their drivers and whatnot, and I believe that they pay very good. The company I'm with, I've only seen one check of $1,000. I've had $700 checks, $800 checks. I expect at least $1,000 every week. For the hours that you drive, come on. It should be better. Seriously. Like I said, I don't know it all. People need to have more respect for us truckers. People need to stop getting so stinking close to truck drivers. It's stupid. Even truckers themselves, they get so stinking close to others. I give at least a car or two a space, at least. I think it's very important. I still got a lot to learn. It's just 2 months. I do plan on going to another company eventually. Like I said, I'm going to give this a chance. At least 2 years, so more doors could open for me. And I know exactly, I'm thinking of what company I'll definitely be joining, because I do know they do local. Who knows, I might move out of the state of California, because I live there. I haven't been home in a month and a half. I think that's ridiculous, but it is what it is. I just wanted to point out some of those things that I feel that were kind of stupid. I think truckers need to stop acting like seriously jackasses. Do we need to cuss just like I did right now? No. Come on, give me a break. Grow the hell up, seriously. Stop acting like you know it all, because you don't. Truckers need to have more patience and whatnot, and it's unbelievable how truckers act. You're not all that in a bag of chips, and I'm not gonna think that about myself, even when driving this big old truck and whatnot, because hey, it's a dangerous thing. You get too comfortable, that's when it's gonna bite you in the butt. So hopefully this video helps somebody out. I really apologize if you guys have had bad experiences with other truckers, training or whatever the case may be. If you guys know any good trucking companies that are okay with restrictions, hey, make a comment for me. Let me know. I have 2 months experience. Somebody told me I should give this company at least a year, but not if I'm not gonna get paid what I'm worth. So I'm gonna see what happens, and just go from there. And thank you for watching. If you watched all the way through, 12 minutes and 30 seconds.